And with me is Saket Daga, our secretary from ITDCA, who's going to help me. Let me introduce the panel today. The first is Mr. Salil Shah from the, I'll go through the jewelry side first. Mr. Salil Shah. Salil Shah is based in Bangkok since 1983. He's an MD of Diamruza Limited. The company manufactures medium to high-end jewelry with precious stones and diamonds. He's a past vice president of ITDCA and committee member, and also a committee member of Thai Gem and Jewelry Association. Salil bhai, welcome.
Can I get a hi, Salil bhai?
Yeah. Yes, hi everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, the next is Mr. Rajiv Kapadia, managing director of Natasha Creation. Natasha Creation is a BOI company manufacturing jewelry mainly in gold and diamonds since 1988, exporting 100% of jewelry and employing over 300 people. He's a past committee member and also a past vice president of ITDCA. Welcome, Rajiv bhai.
Hi all. Hi.
And we have Praveen bhai Loda, managing director of Smart Art Jewelry Limited. Smart Art is designing and manufacturing jewelry from medium to high-end customers worldwide. Currently, he is a treasurer of ITDCA. Welcome, Praveen bhai.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, and it's a good platform to join together.
Okay, then we have Mr. Santpal Sinchawala, managing director of Sant Enterprise Company Limited, exporters of loose colorstone. Now I'm going to the colorstone panel. Exporters of loose colorstone, gemstones, mainly in fine rubies and sapphires, with roots in Thailand since 1963. He's a past vice president of ICA, past board members of TGJTA, and is a current board of Harvard Business School Association of Thailand. Welcome, Satpalji. Hello.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Then we have Mr. Padamji Jain, CEO of RMC Gems Thai Company Limited. RMC is one of the most important suppliers of semi-precious stone in the industry. They have a vast network in Thailand and overseas, both in online and offline selling. All the goods are made in their own manufacturing units in India and China. He is also the chief secretary of Jito Thailand. Welcome, Padam bhai.
Namaste.
Now we have in the diamond panel, we have Poonam Kothari, chairman and managing director of Flawless Group of Companies. The group, through its flagship companies of Flawless Company Limited and Purity Jewelry, is involved in manufacturing and wholesale of polished and cut diamonds and precious stones jewelry across the globe. Welcome, Poonam bhai.
Hello everybody.
And we have Ashok bhai Javeri, MD of Thai Gem House Company Limited, dealing in polished diamonds, and is currently vice president of ITDCA. Ashok bhai, welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Okay, before we start, I would sincerely like to apologize everybody that except the panelists, we have muted everybody who's on the web seminar today. So I sincerely apologize for that. So I will start my, we will start the seminar. We will first go with the jewelry section. Salil bhai, I'm starting with you. Okay, Salil bhai, how about, what do you think about the high-end jewelry market situation after the COVID?
I think, hi everyone. To start with, I think for the high-end jewelry, let us look at the back for a couple of years.
Salil bhai, please, sorry, we cannot hear you. Can you come a little bit closer?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
So to think about for the high-end jewelry future, I think let's go back a couple of years, because the situation for the high-end jewelry has evolved in last couple of years. It has changed completely since 2008. After 2008, of course, the prices went down. Then 2010 onwards, the prices went up. A lot of traditional market like US and Europe went down, but a lot of parallel markets where like Russia, Ukraine, Turkey, China, India, Middle East, South America, they all sustained still. And those became primarily the major markets for the high-end jewelry for a couple of years. But then again, last 3-4 years, as we see the movement of money and the goods has become very difficult. The high-end jewelry again has taken a little bit of beating. And the market, of course, has gone back to US and Europe. But of course, then the design changes, the style, the requirement changes as well. What we see going forward, definitely last couple of years, as we see the diamonds went down in price. What we saw more in high-end jewelry, we saw very good demand for the investment stones, basically in color stones, rubies, sapphire, emeralds. the price of which went up comparatively much higher, as well as, whereas in diamonds it went down. So you had specific calls, people looking for investment stones, investment jewelry to some extent, more or less, but of course more towards investment stones and then to work a jewelry around it. Already last 2 years, we find it very difficult to go where we go to high, mid-end or even to high-end jewelry to sell from the stock to the wholesaler or to directly to a retailer, unless you have a private. You can sell it. You can sell it if you can do on consignment, maybe, but as a regular sale, the volume was much lower. So definitely in last 1 year, definitely a lot of us have probably broken a lot of sets because it was easier to sell some of the loose stones which were better priced now, and then we could recover some of the losses on the diamonds. And the diamonds, we, instead of, because the price were going down, it is better to take out of the mounting and use it for the other orders that you have. So this was already a situation which was prevalent before the COVID situation. And with the COVID, of course, this will multiply, this will make it even more harder, I think, going forward. Very high end, of course, is a very different category, and that people will always sell. And there are buyers for it, but of course, people will not be able to keep stock as much, because before you could buy and sell much faster in certain investment stones than that, which was already getting difficult in last 6 months, 8 months, let's say. At the same time, if your presence is there, if you are branded or if you are like working through the auctions, yes, there is a little bit room to sell, because that is more accepted, and people still, the high-end people, buyers, they are still following this market. But in terms of the regular jewelry stores, I think for an export market, maybe individual markets will work in India or in China or in US, but sitting here in Thailand to sell as a finished jewelry product is not going to be that easy for some time, I think, in at least next 1-2 years.
Okay, Salil bhai, I want to ask you, what about the high net worth people who are buying on an investment point of view? So how do you look at the market going forward to the investment?
I think that will still sustain, and I think that will even become better after all this, because a lot of things against has taken beating in this COVID, a lot of stock market, property, a lot of other things. At the same time, people are not able to travel, so people are going to be more in their own country. Their other expenses are going to go down, and people who have money are bound to go for certain investment. Like yesterday, there was Sotheby's auction online, and they could sell this one tutti frutti bracelet for $1.32 million. I mean, this is a bracelet which is, of course, we can make it for maybe 20, 30, 40, but of course it's a branded, and it's an auction, and people who are at home for so long probably want to spend some money. So this is probably one thing about the online that is still going on, and because it's a Sotheby and it's Cartier, something like that. So yes, that investment I think will continue to grow in my opinion.
So we have some silver lining there in the high-end jewelry.
Yeah, I think definitely it will be there, I think, yeah.
Okay, Salil bhai, the next thing I want to ask you is, what about banking, finance in our industry, especially in Thailand and international? How do you think the banking will play in this industry?
I think internationally as well as in Thailand, our trade was kind of a blacklisted last 2 years, so which was a good in a way, because banks had already accepted and being very strict about it already. Today, advantage is that not only the jewelry trade, almost all businesses are in trouble. So if you talk to a Thai bank, they will tell you it's not only the jewelry is lasting, real estate, many other exporters are already in trouble, garment or whatever, even the hotel industry, everybody is in trouble. So jewelry sector becomes a small part of it. Of course, government has now given a special window. So if you are like TGJTA is handling some part of it, as you are aware of it. And also if you talk to your banks, government has given a certain couple of billion baht for each small scale industries, that if you are using certain part of the line and if your track record is correct.
Did you see that, Chandra?
Sorry. Yes, Salil, sorry.
So if you are using that particular line, then a certain percentage of that they are going to give you at 2% interest rate. Of course, they will need probably about 40% what they are talking as a guarantee in forms of maybe real estate or other fixed deposits, something like that. But this is one of the windows that people will have to try and explore no matter what. I think if your track record is correct at the moment, even if your existing line, if you are extended, the banks are willing to give an extension for 6 months anyway, because they know the situation is bad. There is no use to push you. I guess after 6 months, once things settle down, they will start like India did last year to bring down some of the lines and going forward. But at the moment, I think they will not be so strict.
So you think since the banks were negative before the COVID, there is some positive signs going in our industry with the bank going to be a part of us as a partner helping us out.
Yeah.
So there are two, three positive things we can take, that in the high end, very high end jewelry where people are looking at investment, there is a room. The banks are going to be staying with us help us pass through this COVID
That is
situation.
government push, yeah. Yes.
So there is something good coming out
Yeah.
of the COVID. So let's take the best thing out of it.
Yeah.
So one more important question, I think, which all of our members are looking at, and things are going away, that how are we going to cope up with the international fair? Fairs are being closed. We have already paid money. We have already booked our hotels. How do you as a company, and how do you think, this is one of the important questions which all of our members are looking at. How do you think, what do you like to advise our members going forward for the international fairs?
I think it's the same situation whereby already last 2-3 years, a lot of shows were going down. Basel was already going down in some of the ways. We already had a problem with the management couple of times. And this year, of course, with the Rolex and Patek pulling out, his show is completely finished. Second, if you see the Hong Kong show, last 2-3 years had a problem with typhoon, had a problem with the protests, and now with the COVID. If we see a couple of years ago, 2008 onwards, had problem with the financial market crash. The timing was wrong for the show for many times. So people who are spending a lot of money, people like us also were spending money over the years. They have tried to reduce also. The problem now, what happens is that in a situation like COVID, which happened like SARS before also, if they delay or they cancel the show or they take it to the next year, how do you take the refund? So dealing with a company like UBM is very difficult. Dealing with somebody like MCA, that is Basel show, also very difficult. They want to deduct 70%, refund only 30% if you want to refund the money. So everybody is trying to protest this. But what is happening that Hong Kong TDC, okay, being a trade show by the government, or let's say GEM Geneva, which is a trade show by the trade people at least, that at least we are able to talk and at least able to convince them to delay to a certain appropriate date or to get refunds accordingly, probably, something like that. So one lesson we can take is that at least push more, like we have in Thailand or in India, we have GJPC, the council show. We must push the trade shows which are controlled by our trade bodies, or Satpal can probably give like IT, ICA, International Color Association. If you take part under that umbrella, at least as a group, you are able to negotiate with them better. If you take a exhibit under, let's say, Thai Diamond Jewelry Association as a group, probably you can negotiate better. I think that is for sure. We'll have to do it, and of course, we all will have to bring down the number of booths, or to have a minimal number of booths just to be present there. Because I think the platform which will take off is going to be the digital media much more than ever before. Much more we'll have to be dependent on that, because even if the shows happen, the traveling is going to be difficult, because we don't know how we are going to allow to travel, in which country we'll be allowed to travel. Whether we will need COVID certificate, we will need insurance of $50,000 to $100,000, and we don't know by the time the show comes what will be the situation. There will be recurring of the COVID again or not in those cities, or those countries.
So you, according to you, since after going forward, we are going to see bankers being a part of us in helping it. So we will need also our trade association, trade bodies to help our members to cope up with the fairs going on and negotiating with them.
Yeah.
Okay, Salil bhai, thank you for your inputs. I hope this will give us some more information to our members. Rajiv bhai, now I'm coming with you, Rajiv bhai. Rajiv bhai, could you, since you are one of the leading jewelry manufacturing company in Thailand, could you shed some lights on how the jewelry industry going forward in the rest of the world, especially in Europe and USA? What do you say? What are your ideas on it?
So as we all know, I think the whole industry at the moment is kind of almost shut. But as we speak, I think, things are beginning to look a little bit better. There is some light that we see, because US and Europe, whatever I've spoken in the last couple of days with my customers there and, other stores there, they are opening slowly. It's going to be a step-by-step situation, but there is some partial opening happening at least. Okay. So what I feel is that by June, we should have some kind of partial opening and some business, maybe 10-20% business coming back for us to be active. And I feel that it will be, the earliest will be August, September, by the time we are near the new normal, as we will have to call it. So I think if there is no second wave, we should see a decent holiday season.
So what are the challenges you feel the jewelry industry will face going forward?
Look, I think there are going to be a lot of challenges, and everybody will have to be geared up for that. We will need, firstly, I think we'll need enough capital to go through these tough times. So it's better to be over-capitalized than over-leveraged at the moment.
Okay. Well
Like
taken.
Salil Bhai also said, I think banks are there to support if you have a good track record for the next 6 to 8 months. From my talk with at least 3 to 4 banks, they are quite willing to support our industry as well as other industries. So like he said, we are all in the same boat this time. So there is some kind of support that is going to come from them in terms of liquidity, in terms of allowing, late payments to come from the customers and we paying late back to the bank. The other thing we'll have to do in these tough times is helping and supporting each other right through the chain, meaning right from the stone manufacturer to the supplier to the jewelry manufacturer and the retailer, including the bankers. So I think we all need to work very closely, the whole chain, to support each other to go through these tough times.
So you said,
And I think
sorry, go ahead, Rajiv bhai.
no, there will be certain percentage of customers which will want to take advantage, small customers, that will all depend on individual relations. And I think we'll also have to be ready to sometimes take back goods, as businesses will be genuinely hit also. There might be cases, where we may have to take. So I think overall we'll need a lot of patience and survival skills to go through these tough times.
So we have been speaking all the years that we are like a family. So this is a time that we have to work like a family all the way, from supplier to the retailers. Everybody have to really work like one family.
Yeah.
Okay. What advice do you like to give to jewelry manufacturer to cope up with this situation?
See, what I feel is, along with these challenges that we've been just talking about, soon there will come opportunities also. So the first thing is that we need to be super prepared to take these opportunities that come our way. Different models of businesses within our own industry will have different opportunities. So each one will have to, be ready in their own way to take up this opportunity and grab it when it comes their way. There is no one solution which is going to fit all the members of our industry, even within our industry. For me, in jewelry, there are 3 parts of the jewelry business. One is the manufacturing, then is the product, and then is the marketing, branding, whatever you call it. I think each one, whichever part of the business is his strength, will have to focus. Everybody will have to focus on their strength, put the resources that they have. And some of us may not have unlimited resources in these times. So whatever limited resources, I feel that you have to focus and put it on your strength and improve your strength in the business to survive these times and take those opportunities that will come our way. The other factor which definitely I feel will happen is the China factor. There is going to be certain percentage of businesses or certain countries there will be a backlash that they will face in the next 1 to 2 years from a lot of countries, whether it's from America in terms of duties, whether it's from Europe because of this virus having originated from there, and a psychological factor will also play a part in this, that there is going to be, the world is not going to be very happy with China, and people might want to, we all know that it's the biggest manufacturing hub in the world for almost all industries, including ours. So people who are buying from there would definitely, if not move completely out of China right now, definitely put one leg somewhere else, to start with. And I think that's where we have to be ready to take that opportunity as manufacturers in the jewelry world.
Rajiv bhai, I have read somewhere that, after the COVID, they say that there is going to be a growth in a silent luxury. That means something more to classic elements, where people are going to look at craftsmanship or something before they buy any luxury item. How do you think that Thailand can play a very important role in this? As people know, craftsmanship is quite good in Thailand. So how do you look at this in the luxury point of view?
I think in our industry, if you leave aside Italy, where there is very little manufacturing right now, the 3 major manufacturers of jewelry are Thailand, China, and India. And I think in terms of volume and value, we may be number 3. But in terms of craftsmanship, in terms of detailing in the product, in terms of consistent productivity of good quality, I think Thailand is number 1. So we need to take advantage of this factor. From my opinion, at least our members and those who are in Thailand as jewelry manufacturers, I don't see too many people having a brand, or because it requires a lot of time, history, and lot of resources, which is not everybody's cup of tea. So I think it could be a good idea for us as jewelry manufacturers to become suppliers to these brands, to be suppliers to these luxury brands who, as you said, you read that this could take off and they will have more sales. So our part could be enhanced by increasing our business from the supply side. The other option could be to form, for companies which are strong and who really have paid attention to the manufacturing, could be good opportunity to have JVs, joint ventures or partnerships with some kind of brands overseas and become their supplier.
So Thailand will have an advantage. Looking at the survey, what people are coming out that silent luxury will sell, where craftsmanship will play important role. So Thailand has an advantage over it. So I think it's a positive sign for Thailand.
Yeah, I think so. It will definitely have an advantage because it's a good manufacturing hub, pretty safe. And but the only thing is, I would feel that all our members who are in the manufacturing side should pay importance in enhancing their manufacturing facilities and being able to compete with China if they want to take that business, because that opportunity is definitely going to come.
Okay, thank you, Rajiv bhai. I mean, these are the inputs what people can think about during this lockdown. Instead of worrying, they can take some advices from people like you, and they can think how to change their systems. It's not going to be easy, but some things to think positive in the future in the jewelry industry.
I think so. If people can survive this year, I think again, it should be pretty good in 21, 22, 23. So we just need a little bit of patience.
So we have some advantage. Thailand have some advantage in the jewelry market. Thank you, Rajiv bhai. Praveen bhai, now I will, since you are one of the company who are working on a non-order based high to medium end jewelry. How do you see your sector where people are making stocks and going to sell? How do you feel? How do you see in your sector? How do you see the jewelry sector with your type of business?
For the companies who are just manufacturing nice designs for stock and then trying to sell stock, for them it is a tough time, because at least in the short run, nobody would be able to travel, because largely our businesses have been based on participating in the shows, getting customers there, and then traveling to target markets. So that particular aspect of business is going to be weak. Okay. Now, how to cope up with this will require a lot of careful thinking and trying to look into forming strategic alliances with like-minded people. I say like-minded people because this is the jungle and everybody is out to devour the other guy, whoever approaches anybody. So one has to keep looking for like-minded people who can, just by being, talking to them or with an understanding of the feel of their business and our own abilities, if some kind of a matching can be achieved, and we can feel that, over a long term, it is a mutual give and take. They allow us to make some money. We allow them to make some, money or possibilities of getting goods and other things. Then this can work as a good way.
Any particular strategy would you suggest in your type of business? Because there are a lot of jewelry companies in Thailand who are making on order base also, and there are people like you who are making jewelry and then going on to create the market for it. So any particular strategy would you like to advise?
I feel this is the only strategy that comes to my mind at this point of time. We have to look to
no, I didn't, but I think it's 101
alliances. I will not say partnerships, strategic alliances with like-minded retailers or like-minded wholesalers worldwide. It could be any country. So like the people in the targeted markets who want to import jewelry or who want to retail jewelry, they also need goods. Okay, so they will also be looking for people who are like-minded. it doesn't just go that, okay, you know, everybody is positioned in a way, like somebody is like Rajiv is a large manufacturer, or there are similar few other manufacturers here like Rajiv. People can approach him and he can do on a, you know, order basis, on a breakdown basis and something like that. But for, he has worked a lot on this model of business. So
Okay,
whoever has worked on this kind of a model of business, they will keep getting orders. But for people like us who are making jewelry on order basis, on you know, stock and sale basis, we will need to make strategic alliances with people who need goods. And this is how I look at it.
so you think people in your sector of jewelry need to start thinking, and you know, people like you are supplying to 1 or 2 stores, having family-owned companies, family-owned stores, or having 1 or 2 stores. So you need to do a lot of bondings with them. Do you think that way has to work? That marketing strategy will need to be worked?
Yes, this is the way we have to form alliances with people.
Okay. Thank you very much, Praveen bhai. Now we'll go to the Colorstone panelists. Satpalji, I'll start with you.
Hello.
Satpalji, what are the major challenges what you feel Ruby Sapphire industry is going forward due to this economic crisis, due to this COVID, and how do you think, what are the thoughts about you for the Ruby Sapphire market?
Well, as the jewelry panelists have said, it's going to be a very tough six months to 1 year ahead.
Okay.
And staying above water would probably be the key to surviving this out. I don't think that there will be many opportunities to easily sell at the moment because all the shows are in jeopardy. Air travel is difficult, and especially our product is quite difficult to sell via the email and digital marketing. So everybody will have to come up with a way of how to stay connected with their clients and how to build that bridge to be able to sell. We were very reliant on shows, extremely reliant, and we were extremely we were doing like 35-40% of our business at the show annually. So it is a very big number. And now with all the shows on shaky ground, we will have to quickly adapt. We are thinking how to do, but this will be a necessity. And I think air travel, people will be afraid to travel for, even when the planes start flying, people will be afraid to travel. That is also my worry. The airlines will say we're flying, but people have their own choice whether to come to Bangkok or not to view our stones. So we will have challenges that many of us will have to downsize a little bit. Many of us will have to accept the new normal as a lower sales and tide out this calamity that has come once in a lifetime event. And so I think being in Thailand with rubies and sapphires, at least we are kind of safe that this business will remain here. I don't think it is possible for anybody to take this business away from Thailand as long as we play it safe. The tradition of cutting, the tradition of heating, the tradition of producing this material is a powerful presence in the country. So I'm not worried about that aspect, but I do know that it's going to be a tough period ahead for our producers, our suppliers in Chantaburi. Everybody is going through. We have to help each other to keep the supply chain open and be connected when the business comes back. Because right now I feel that a lot of our stones is already in the jewelry, and the jewelry houses and the brands will be trying to sell off their own stock. So some will be giving discounts, some will be, new buying of stones will be relatively slow for a while. There's no question about that, because people have a lot of stock of finished jewelry. I mean, large retailers like Chow Tai Fook and all that probably have a lot of finished jewelry. And everywhere there's a lot of finished jewelry lying, they'll try to liquidate that stock first.
So what do you think will be the short-term impact and long-term impact to our industry, especially the color stone industry?
The short-term impact will be intense because goods are unbranded. There's less requirement for it because a lot of it is already in the jewelry, and the amount that is already in finished jewelry is enough. I only see a silver lining, like the other panelists said, in the high end, where there will be business, high to very high end, but the regular manufacturing will be quite tough in the near term. So
Okay.
3 to 6 months business will be weak. I think 2021, with traffic and with shows coming back, we may recover back up to 60, 70% of where we were. That is being optimistic. And
Satpalji, like Thailand is said to be the capital of color stone. So how do you think Thailand position will be after after COVID in the world industry, in the ruby and sapphire industry? How do you look at Thailand?
I think the entire ruby and sapphire industry will become smaller for a while. There is no choice. There is no choice. But the technological prowess and the ability to remain the capital of this particular breed of colored stones, rubies and sapphires, will remain with Thailand, I feel. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think that this will not go away.
That's something positive for the color stone people in Thailand.
Something positive for the Thai colored stone companies, that this will go. We might have a big dip in sales. That is for sure. People will face it, but the entire business will remain here.
And what do you think about what are your future concerns regarding raw material supply, mining activities, and possible oversupply because of COVID? How do you think the color stone people should cope up with these 3 points?
Well,
3 concerns.
We have been through a lot of crises, and this is the biggest one. Every time we had a crisis in the past, we had the Asian financial crisis, Tom Yam Kung crisis. We had our own political problems. We had the subprime. We've lived through it all. We notice one thing, that every time the big crisis hits and sales go down, the miners and mining activity in themselves reduce a little bit.
Okay.
So it becomes that then what we have in stock, we slowly move out. And because many of us will be trying to sell our stock, we're not going to be buying more goods. It's all of us dealers, we have a lot of stock, and that is where our money is. So I think the mining activity will probably reduce to come into sync with what is the current market situation and how much consumption there is. So that will be an automatic thing, I think, as in the past it has been. I don't think the people are going to pump out the stuff out of the ground and make the prices completely crash. I doubt it. I think the supply situation will remain okay, and supply and demand should be kept in close contact so that prices don't come crashing down. That's very important.
I think something. I mean, just a suggestion. Since I am a diamond merchant, the diamond people are closing down buying for next 1 month to stop producing diamonds. Something you think the color stone people will do in the coming future to maintain price?
I think the minings will automatically become a little bit less as people buy less rough and people spend more on just maintaining their business and their staff and staying alive. I think it is an automatic reaction. I don't think the activities are very scattered all over the world, and it will be a natural process, I feel. I don't think that anybody, because there's no big cartel that is controlling this mining all over the world. 40, 50 countries are producing.
Don't you think ICA should work in it?
Well, ICA eventually will have to work in it. It's too new. It's too new into the crisis at the moment for anybody to do anything. People are just trying to retrieve the monies that they've spent on the shows. I mean, like,
sorry, go ahead.
That asked me $150,000 stuck into the shows already.
That was my next question. I asked Salil bhai a question in the going forward in the show in the jewelry industry. I wanted to ask you the same question. How do you think going forward in the color stone industry, how the color stone big traders like you are going to cope up with shows cancelling, no refunds coming, and a lot of expenses going in? What do you suggest to the color stone fraternity about going forward in the show, on the internet show?
Well, I mean, see, our product is such that the visual appeal of the product is only possible to give when one can see the product. That's the product. So it is natural that we would definitely want the shows to come back, because that is what has built up so much business over the years. But we are also worried that will people come to the shows, because social distancing will be a problem. Shows are huge events with 5,000, 10,000 people in one building at one time. So that is a worry. But I think we will have to wait it out till next year to see how the shows come back, and that will be an important turning point towards the Bluestone business.
I think, I think just, I wanted to go through a panel to panel, but this is one important question which has just popped up in my mind. Like organizing show itself is a big industry running by some private enterprises, and participating, exhibiting in a show is members like us. So do you think that there should be a talk between organizing committee and members, because there's going to be a lot of disruption coming in the future in the show, where ICA'S, different association, jewelry association, color stone association, diamond association should need to come together at one organization, talking to another organization organizing the show. Do you think there's a need for this?
Absolutely. This will be probably the way of the future. I was on the shows committee with ICA since they started doing the shows as pavilions 11 years ago. And the first time the ICA organized a pavilion was the March Hong Kong show with TDC. And that was 11, 12 years ago. And from there, so many pavilions have been formed and all this has been done with the shows. So I think, yes, all the trade associations, the diamond associations, the country associations, we have to find ways of working together with the show organizers, and maybe even reduce the number of shows a little bit and have them strong and have them good. I guess that would be.
I hope some president from the different association who are hearing us. I think there's a lot of our cash flow of our members are getting stuck in the shows. So I think Rajiv bhai, what you said, we have to work like a family. I think there's a need. All the different countries, associations should come like a family and work on behalf of the members to talk to this organizing companies of the show to help the members here. I think, Salil bhai, would you agree with me, Rajiv? Do you think this is a need of the hour? And people who are listening us on this panel, I hope they can take this and come as a family to work together and help our members.
Definitely.
Yeah. Salil, okay. Thank you, Satpaji.
Thank
you for your.
Padamji,
now you are in semi-precious stones. So I would like to ask you some question. What do you think are the major challenges coming in the semi-precious industry? Satpalji, you have told about precious, ruby and sapphire. I would like to hear from you about semi-precious.
In semi-precious stones, for the manufacturing unit, I need a lot of manpower. And during this hard time, to maintain the manpower is the most challenging thing, I feel. Because there is a less order, the sales has drastically low down now. So what work should be given to them? This, I feel, the biggest challenge. There is second challenge is about, so there could be a shortage of raw material if the market come back. Because in semi-precious stones, the mining is not organizing sector. The mining is done with the small sectors. And once they are closed, it's very hard to bring them back on mining. So I feel if the market come up, there will be a second challenge about the shortage of raw material. There is a cash shortfall is a big challenge. So we don't have to talk about. There is a sales is going down. It's a big challenge for all. And the next challenge, what I feel in manufacturing, there will be a lot of restrictions due to social distancing and the new norms of the government. So this will be another challenge every manufacturer will be facing in semi-precious industry.
So what are the trends you are looking at semi-precious? Like in jewelry, we are looking at high-end jewelry may work. Medium jewelry will have some time to things like color stones. Satpalji said that there may be a case of high-end color stone going in a private investment type. What do you think in the semi-precious stones? What trend do you think will work after the COVID?
In semi-precious stone, the trend we see that next 6 months is going to be definitely slow. But I feel semi-precious stones are used in the silver jewelry. And silver jewelry is always in fashion and it is used in the mass production and big quantity. The demand of silver jewelry is up and down all the time, but never dead. So I think this market will remain okay. And in 2021, personally, it's my feeling that there will be a V-shaped curve, and we are optimistic on this.
So, but like what you said, Padamji, that silver jewelry is the biggest consumer of semi-precious. And as far as I know, that silver jewelry is very mostly made in China, and China has opened up. So you think there will be a good demand for semi-precious dealers in Thailand to supply to China?
Not only to China, I think it will be to the world, because Thailand is the place where the craftsmanship is the great, on-time delivery and designing. And the best point of Thailand is also capable to do the low-weight jewelry, the lightweight jewelry. So this is big advantage to the Thailand, and I'm sure that Thailand will have a big opportunities, because before supply chain was concentrated on one country, and one country was equal to supply chain. But now the world will take a part in supply chain. So there is a lot of opportunity to India and Thailand, I guess.
Now, the last question I want to ask you: what, according to you, are the steps one should take to survive after COVID in your industry? That's the one question. And second thing, as a country, what India and Thailand should do to revive this after the COVID in the semi-precious industry? One as a member, one as an individual company, and one as a country as a whole.
Country as a whole, I think the biggest possibility, and right now we have the great opportunity, will be coming up in India and Thailand both. Okay. But Thailand is having a great infrastructure for the supply of jewelry, and India has a great potential in the gemstone. So once these two countries come together, since we have a very good relationship between India and Thailand, and it's a very good understanding between Indian and Thailand merchants, so I think two countries together can grow a lot. For example, the total export of Thailand is almost $250 billion in a year. Everything. I'm talking about the country's export.
Okay.
India's export is almost $300-something billion, because Thailand has a great infrastructure. So I feel Thailand will have a good opportunities and great opportunities. But of course, we have to have India together as a Jaipur for the gemstone supply.
What, as a leading company, would you like to advise to fellow members in your industry? What steps they should take to pass this COVID?
Before 2 decades, sure. Before 2 decades, there was a big revolution in IT industry. Everyone has their own employee, but now I think the things going to be changed. There will be everybody will turn their fixed expenses to a variable expenses, and that will make outsourcing business a lot. There is an opportunity for small manufacturer. There will be, because the big manufacturer will reduce their manufacturing and their fixed cost, and this advantage will pass to a small manufacturer. They will work together. This is one thing. Second thing, right now we have to keep a good relationship in entire supply chain. Our supplier, our banker, our customers, to survive and success in this this market. Other thing, right now, I would like to suggest go for use a digital marketing. And not only digital, we have to use AI, artificial intelligence technology. We have to use a virtual reality. Right now, the TV channels company, they are still even in the COVID shutdown, there was a demand of gemstone, especially semi-precious stones. Because TV channels company, they are selling. People are sitting at home, they are buying jewelry. Some of TV companies, because they can show the product. Right now, people cannot come to the show, they cannot see the real product. So it's a great opportunity to sell the product by virtual network, by VR. So this is going to take a big role in the coming up the future business.
Yeah, okay. So I think there are some very good positive for semi-precious stones business and traders in Thailand going forward, according to you.
Yes.
Thank you, Badamji. Thank you very much. Now I'll go to the diamond panel. Ashok Bhai, yes. I'll go start with you, please. Yes. Ashok Bhai, you have been a very old diamond trader in our business. So I would like to ask you a very important questions. What, according to you, is the situation going to be after the lockdown in India? First, in rough price, and second thing in polished prices, in small goods and certified goods.
It is very difficult situation for the whole diamond industry. A couple of mines are at the point of closing down. They are heavily in debt. It is difficult for them to get any additional finance, and they still have huge stock in hand. without demand or correct prices, because nobody knows what is the correct price today is. Second, in April, there was no syndicate site, and in May site, dealers have been given the option to defer, so there will be no extra stock in the market. For the price wise, the last couple of tenders were sold at roughly 25% lower in the price. For bigger sizes, special box 10 carat and up were sold 40% lower. This was the situation in March. After that, the situation all over the world is getting worse due to Corona. In this situation, it is still possible that the prices may go down. Today, except China, not a single country is working. Everybody is in lockdown. Looking at the current situation in India, Maharashtra and Gujarat both are in the red zone, and they have extended the lockdown until the 17th. Like at this, like looking at this situation, it looks like that Surat may not start the factories until end June or maybe in July. They have enough stock in the rough with the old prices. And regarding the import of rough diamonds in India, Bharat Diamond Bourse, Gem and Jewelry Export Promotion Council, Surat Diamond Association, and Surat Diamond Bourse have appealed all the importers not to import rough for at least 1 month after the opening. If this is observed, it will give some stability to the polish market. Situation in 2009 and today is completely different. 2009, there was a there was problem with money crisis, and now today is not only that the situation. For the polished goods, before the lockdown, below $300 were in good demand. Prices down by 8 to 10%. Previously were moving with the new prices. From now until September 2020, there are no international jewelry fair. So jewelry manufacturers have no reason to make stock at the moment. At the moment, only China market have started, and all the hopes are on China demand.
So you think the closing down of our of import in India will be a big step in stabilizing the price in our diamond industry?
Because if they get little bit time to start the factories or to resell what they have in the stock in the hand before Corona, then there is a possibility that price might, throughout the 2019, every month the prices were going down, either for the supply for the rough, either with the overproduction, or maybe the currency, the rupee is really going down. So every month there was a new prices with the smaller goods.
There is one important question which every member is worried about and talking about. I don't know whether I should ask on this webinar, but I cannot resist asking you. That is, what do you think about Rappaport price list? There is some discussion going in the market that the World Diamond Bourse have asked people not to accept the 20th March price list and go with the 6th March price list. I don't know, please pardon me, I'm asking this question to you, Ashok on this panel, but this is a question which all our ITDCA members are working on it and talking to. A lot of calls have come to me, what we should follow, what not. So should we follow World Diamond Bourse, or what is your idea according to you?
I think, there is a very big oppose to the new list. Manufacturers and traders didn't like the new list. It's a difficult time to oppose. Many manufacturers and traders have delisted their inventories from the RAPNet.
So do you think there is people have delisted, but Ashok bhai, do you think you need a unity in that people even desperately don't follow the March 20 list and sell off and just stick to March 6? I know it is very difficult to control people selling, but do you think there is something to be talked on that?
Yeah, you see, and they listed, but that was not the end of the story. Maybe you have seen yesterday in the 1st May 2020 Rappaport price list, they started the new service called Rappaport Trade Sheet, which provide the discount also. Means the smallest retail shop in the smallest town, now they know what should be the discount. Before, only we had to fight only with the rough price. We were not fighting because we were negotiating the discount with the customers. Now even the customer sitting in the smallest city and the smallest shop maybe require 30% one stop. He knows what should be the discount because it's already on the price list.
So I think he's also preparing after COVID.
Yeah. So and meanwhile, the Israel Diamond Bourse and some members have started using Get Diamond as a new platform where people can upload their inventories and buyers can see the stock and buy in the same way as RapNet.
So you think there'll be a revolution coming in the price list in our industry? Maybe there will be an alternative price list coming from World Diamond Bourse or somebody else as an alternative, a revolution coming in our industry?
Manufacturers and traders want to follow the old price list because the discounts are already fixed. We have never seen in the past when the RapNet goes down, the discount goes down. The discount remains the same. And they have approached the World Federation of Diamond Bourse. But as for my information from Belgium and Israel, they cannot intervene the price list, because, maybe they have some their own problems. But they said me that, they cannot go. So maybe they will have to follow the Israel, what they have made, the Get Diamonds, some structure like that you can put your price per carat. You cannot produce the price list there.
So something new will come.
Something new, yes.
Okay, finally, so Ashok bhai, your final question. Can you shed some lights on international diamond market going forward?
I think it will be a very difficult situation for all this year throughout the 2020 because, nobody knows since the people, getting less and less confidence in diamonds. All 2019, you see every month there was a new price. Every month there was a new price. And there is no end to this situation. Production is so much in the polished goods, much more than what is the demand. So I don't think in this year, at least for this whole year, we can see any better situation in this polished goods.
But I think, I mean, Ashok bhai, discussing with you, I think there is some positive coming in the diamond industry that we have finally got united against the report price list, and we have finally got united to delay buying of rough. So don't you think COVID has got some positive thing for our industry going forward?
Maybe at this point, yes, it looks like, but we don't know how long this will last.
And but whoever some people are from the world are listening us, I hope they get united and get these two positive things in our market, because this is the best thing what we can have, creating an alternative price list and creating uniting together to stabilize the price list. I think this is what COVID can help us in the diamond industry.
We hope so.
Thank you, Ashok bhai. Thank you very much. Now we'll go to Poonam bhai. Poonam bhai, you are one of the leading company in the Thailand market, supplying diamonds, leading supplier of diamond market. My questions to you will be particularly more related to the local market. So what are the situation of local market, and what do you think after post-COVID?
Atul bhai, thank you for that. मुझे लगता है कि Thai market like 2019 with local market with slow market slow था, but end of 2019 and 2000 starting Thai market is a little pickup and everybody is happy and everybody is looking that 2020 will be good for diamond market and local market for jewelry and color stone. But कोरोना वायरस आने के कारण सब चीज लॉकडाउन हो गया और सबका हेल्थ इशू के कारण एवरीथिंग इज शट डाउन. पर जहां ये बात आती है कि आफ्टर कोरोना वायरस कैसा रहेगा थाई मार्केट, तो जिस हिसाब से थाईलैंड की सिचुएशन है, जिस हिसाब से अपन देख रहे हैं कि हेल्थ इशू में सब रिकवरी जिस हिसाब से फास्ट आ रही है, तो मुझे लगता है कि थाई मार्केट लोकल मार्केट कंपेयर टू द अनदर पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड रिकवरी फास्ट करेगा. उसके दो रीजंस हैं. एक तो अपने हेल्थ इशू में भी रिकवरी फास्ट आ रही है, दूसरा यहाँ पे जो इंडस्ट्री पहले नहीं आ रही थी वो अब सब चैनल से मूव होके दूसरी इंडस्ट्री भी इधर लगेगी, तो आई थिंक वो भी बिजनेस आएगा. और दूसरा मेरे को लग रहा है कि थाई पीपल का, यहाँ लोकल लोगों का नेचर है बाहर ट्रैवलिंग करना, पैसा स्पेंड करना, बाहर से शॉपिंग करना, तो वो चीज भी वो लोग बाहर जाके नहीं करेंगे, वो लोकली स्पेंड करेंगे. तो उसका भी लोकल मार्केट को आफ्टर कोरोना वायरस विल भी बेनिफिट मिलेगा. एक और चीज कहना चाहूंगा, यहाँ की मिडिल क्लास और अपर क्लास जो है वो अपने इनकम या अपना जो भी रेवेन्यू है वो लोकली अर्न करती है, उनका बाहर इन्वेस्टमेंट कम है. दे बिलीव ऑन मोर इन द थाईलैंड, सो दे इन्वेस्ट मोर इन थाईलैंड. सो उनका पैसा कंपेयर टू द अनदर पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड इतना डिक्रीज, असेट्स उनकी इतनी डिक्रीज नहीं हुई है, तो उनकी स्पेंडिंग पावर इतनी कम नहीं होगी कंपेयर टू अनदर पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड। मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि 100% सेल्स होगी जैसा पहले था, पर जिस हिसाब से दूसरे मार्केट में 100% सेल्स के सामने 10% की रिकवरी है, तो यहाँ पर मुझे लगता है कि थाईलैंड में 25% की रिकवरी से स्टार्ट होगा। तो आई थिंक will be not that bad, but will be compared to another part of the world, Thailand will be do better.
So I think, I mean, looking at the talk of panelists, I think Rajiv, looking at Rajiv, jewelry has a better, we have a better chance with craftsmanship in Thailand. Satpalji's talk, color stone have a better advantage. Adamji said Ruby, I mean, in the semi-precious Thailand have an advantage. And after hearing in the local market, Thailand advantage.
Yeah,
I think we
true.
all ITDC members are sitting at the right place.
That's true. We are lucky to be in Thailand.
Okay, what advice, Poonam bhai, would you like to give to our fellow members, local diamond dealers? How do you advise them to cope up with this situation?
अतुल भाई, लाइक अभी कोरोना वायरस के कारण सब अपने अपनी जगह घर पे ऑफिस में बैठ के सब अपनी प्लानिंग सब तो बना ही रहे होंगे, फिर भी मैं अपनी कुछ एडवाइस दूंगा। एक तो मेरे को यही है कि मार्केट इतना पहले जैसा सेल्स या इतना कोप अप नहीं कर पाएंगे जितना पहले अपना था, तो आई विल एडवाइज एवरीबडी टू सिट इन द एज लेस एज पॉसिबल ऑन इन्वेंटरी। सेकंड थिंग, आई विल एडवाइज एवरीबडी कि go directly to visit the customer, try to develop their relation with the customers and try to understand what they are looking, what they are buying, what they are looking forward for that, so that can help them out to keep their inventory. एक चीज और है, जैसा राजीव भाई सब ने बोला कि we all have to be help each other to develop the market and to develop the situation, to get out from this situation. एंड एक और है कि सब लोग अपना ऑनलाइन बिजनेस या जैसा भी डेवलप करें, आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ पीपल आर डूइंग दैट, दे हैव टू बी डू इट इन दिस सिचुएशन।
Okay, so I think this is how you suggest to our members. But one of the leading company, diamond supplier company, you tend to have a very 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 good relations with local showrooms and all, local owners and all. I mean, Thai people also might be thinking and worried about the post-COVID. Any ideas or any suggestions you are giving to your buyers, which is a part of your family, how to cope up with this, which we would also like to know from you, so our members can also on your some advice on your side, they can also talk to their buyers. So any ideas, any suggestion, what you have suggested to your buyers on during this tough time, would you like to share with us?
Yes, Atul bhai. Like, first of all, I'll say that our buyer is like our partner, or we can say if they are our salesperson and we are depend on them. So if they will do well, we will do well. So I think everybody should go to meet their client and to suggest them to how to improve the marketing, because we are traveling around the world and they are not that much touch with the around the world. So first of all, I like to suggest all to my customer, now the timing is changed because of the health issue. A lot of people, especially the local Thai people, they are very sensitive about the health issues. So maybe they will not come to their showrooms to buy the inventory, to come to the department store. So they have to now come out from their showrooms or from their shop, from their working place, to visit to the customer place to show them the inventory, show them the whatever they want to do by the catalog, or to show them the inventory, to make the sell them. They have to come out from their showroom. It's not like before they just sit in the showroom and waiting for the customer or client will come to visit. They have to come out from their shops. Second चीज मैं अपने सब customers को बोल रहा हूँ, most of them maybe are doing or maybe are not doing, कि they have to be develop the online business, so that's way they can sell more goods by sitting in their shops or their house. They don't have to go to their shops or maybe their showrooms, because again the health issue, maybe they don't want to open their shop, so they have to develop more online sales basis also. And as a customer, I will tell them to educate their consumer also about the value of the diamond. Like you look at in the diamond, like Ashok Kaka ne bola ki diamond price is going down. It's not mean this diamond price is only going down in the world. You look at everything is going down. If you look at the stock market, the stock market set index is December में 1567 था, जो कि कोरोना वायरस के कारण 1048 पे आ गया था. अभी थोड़ा स्टेबल होके थोड़ा सा बढ़ा है, पर डायमंड की प्राइस इतनी नहीं गिरी है. तो I will suggest my customer to explain to consumer is not a diamond is not a, like a okay they buy in the for investment property in the stock, not to diamond. I will ask my customer to educate to their consumer. Diamond also is a as an investment, and that one they can wear it, they can enjoy it, they can touch it, and they can feel it. So the consumer will be attracted with the diamond and maybe color stone, whatever, and it can be sell, can be go up again.
Okay, Poonam, I think there are 1-2 common questions. I mean, my questions are quite over now, but there are 1-2 common questions which I want to go, because we thought that we'll have a webinar for one hour, 10 minutes. But there are 1-2 questions which I would like to ask. Ashok bhai, Poonam bhai, one for you both. How do you think our members have to cope up with return goods for non-payments? This is a very important question which our members would like to know. And the similar questions I would like Salil bhai and Ashok, Rajiv to help us guide in the jewelry industry. So first I will go with Ashok bhai and Poonam bhai. Whoever wants to answer first, please. Anybody can answer me first, please.
Return goods, what you mean? The customer will return the goods, right?
Yeah, there may be a scenario where the goods may be returned because of the COVID and all. So, and the price going down. So how do you think what are your strategy? How we should cope up with it?
Atul bhai, very frankly, nobody want to take the goods back. Business is like this. Once you sell, we cannot take it back. But like Rajiv bhai and everybody say, we should help each other. So in some situation, we have to talk to customer and try to explain him or try to work out some middle way to find out that he will not hurt and we will not hurt, because we have not a relation with our own community. We are living here from last 30 years with some of the customer, maybe 20 years, 10 years. So we are like, not by the culture or by the, we are not we can say we are family with them also, So we have extended to find out family. Some middle way, Sorry.
So Ashok bhai, your view, please.
Well, this is Thai tradition that all the shops, they have return guarantee, maybe 20%, 15% return back guarantee, This is the wrong practice with them for years and years.
Okay.
The situation looks very tough. Normally every year after Songkran, market is very slow. Particularly this year, because of Corona, it is completely dead. Malls are closed, and the other areas, most of the customers didn't open their shop after the Songkran holidays. Recently talking with a couple of customers about why they did not open their shop. It's very, very scary answer. Very, very scary answer. They mentioned that the gold prices are very high and there are many people returning gold jewelry. If the same happens with the diamond jewelry, there will be a big problem in refunding cash money. So prolonging this, we are delaying opening the shop. This is not the answer from one customer. This is a couple of people. And this is the reason, if you have also noticed, every time in Songkran, suppose they close on around 10th or 11th normally, and they open up 16, 17. This year, they close the shop, all Chakravat, all Balmo, all this thing. No, malls are different because it's already locked down. But all the shops, if you will see, not a single shop is open today.
And so there is something we need to worry about.
This is the way. So it may happen that they themselves, they are scared that there will be a lot of return, because looking at the gold lines, if you see in the Chakravat and all this thing, it was in the newspaper, it was in the that there were so many people to sell the gold. And if this thing happened with their shop, what will be the situation? So I was talking with a couple of customers on the phone, because nobody is open there. I asked them, why you didn't open? It's already end of the April. They said, no, this is that. Then some customers, very close, they mentioned that we are scared and we are trying to delay. We are trying to delay opening the shop. Meantime, if the people, they want to return the jewelry, maybe they can go to the pawn shop, or maybe they've signed some another source for the finance and this thing. So we will have less problem. And even the gold shop, you know it very well. It was in the newspaper and media and everything. When they had even cash problem.
Okay. Rajiv bhai, in jewelry, what is your idea? Because this is of the local market. Now I want to ask on the international market point of view.
So we'll have to take it in two ways. First of all, like I said earlier, there will be a few small percentage of customers who will try to take advantage, but that won't be the majority if you have a good long-term relationships with your customers.
Fair enough.
Now, I think each individual will have to decide whether it is better to take back the goods and salvage whatever, because if the genuine customer also has a problem, like we all are saying, we'll have to help each other. Either you may give him a choice that, okay, you keep it for another 6 months, try to sell it, keep it on consignment, try to sell it. Or if you have other outlets, you take it back and, try to sell it otherwise. But if you feel that, look, this customer strength is not there to last in the business because the situation is so critical, it's like everyone says once in a lifetime that this situation has arisen, then I think we may have to take it back, So it will be a balance of factors, and each one will have to decide on his relationship and how he knows how much he trusts the customer going forward before taking the decision.
Okay, so there is again a call that we all have to. Before we were just family and traders, and this now we all have to work like a extended family and help each other out to pass this, COVID. Okay, we are just. I have a lot of questions to ask. I was one important question. The last questions I want to ask before we wind up is about digital marketing. Rajiv bhai, how do you think digital marketing will play going forward? Because I heard that the digital the people are more after in the last COVID time, 1.5 months, people have been more glued to the screen. And you think there is a split? There is some people have age group have moved more into the digital going around. So how important will a digital marketing play an important role in our industry?
See, there is no doubt that digital marketing is going to go for, in all fields, in every business is going to play a more important role than what it plays right now. But how many of us are prepared? If you look at our industry right now in Bangkok, how many of us are prepared to take that role on? Digital marketing, according to me, doesn't mean that if we create a website tomorrow, we can start selling day after. It takes a long while, and marketing on the digital platform is also now become very expensive. Branding has become expensive and time consuming. So in my opinion, yes, if you look at the volumes that are going to happen on digital platform, definitely e-commerce is going to go higher and higher year by year. But how are we prepared? Because like I said, it takes a lot of resources to actually sell. I think there are two options for people like us sitting here in Thailand in whatever field we are in. The first option is, at least we make a nice website, we can present, because as people said, maybe there will be less travel for some more time. So this digital platform will give us an opportunity to maybe show our manufacturing, show our product, show it to the consumers we're already working with, and try to take it as a small baby step on the digital platform and go forward with that, at least have our presence there. And the second thing is that maybe if our own strength is manufacturing, then we can tie up with some retailers, customers with whom you have very long-term, good relations and whom you trust, to form partnerships or joint ventures, because they may be in a field, in a situation where their strength is marketing. So you could tie up with them and be a part of this whole process.
Okay. Satpalji, we have lack of time. And this is the last thing. Digital marketing, Rajiv explained in jewelry. I have to ask the same question to you in Colorstone and maybe Punambai in diamonds, because digital marketing is going to play in our whole channel. So very brief, what do you think about digital marketing in Colorstone?
I agree very much with Rajiv Bhai. Digital marketing will play a much bigger role in the years to come. We all will have to develop our strategy for this, and we are way behind in Thailand. I think that this will be the way of the future, and for 1-2 years it is possible, highly possible, that travel will be restricted by some people on their own. Even when governments allow, people will be afraid to travel. That percentage of people will probably be the wealthy people. So we have to also worry about that. And our product is normally sold when people travel. 30-40% of jewelry is sold to tourists when they're happy and they are traveling. And when the planes are flying is when jewelry is being sold without us knowing. So that may take a hit, and we have to consider how to help with our customers, team up with our customers, or do it ourselves, and use the digital platform to sell more. More jewelry will be getting sold on the digital platform no matter what. That is one into it. That is our each company's strength.
Satpalji, one added question. Like in jewelry, digital marketing can be done through designs and this. In diamond, we have a digital marketing through certificate stone, where the numbers are written in girdles and all. There is some trust there. How do you think in color stone, when there is what is your idea? Will the trust and integrity play a very important role in digital marketing in color stone, where there is no standard of people knowing it with the certificate, whether the certificate is same or not? What do you suggest? What do you think will play an important role?
Well, I think like for all the better goods, the single stones and better goods, the quality of the certificate says quite a bit. There is trust around certificates. So there is the certificate question will come in, and then of course then educating the public will be the retailers or whoever is reaching out to the public to share with them that which certificate they feel is of the highest quality. So most of the color stones are also certified. Anything above $10,000, $5,000 now is with the cert. So it will be just a question of the people that will be moving our goods on to the end user, how they will explain to them which cert is a good cert, because we ourselves may not reach the public at the moment. So we will have to work closely with the people that we sell to, who reach to the public, and explain to them how they want to move forward. There will be no choice about that.
Poonam bhai, what do you suggest about diamonds in digital marketing?
Atul bhai, for digital marketing, like I say, if I talk about the local market, really, like Rajiv bhai say, we are very back behind for the developing all this digital marketing. And second thing, we especially the local market, they are very back also to buy online very expensive item. So it's very difficult to sell on digital or online for the consumer for like a $50,000 stone or $100,000, $20,000 stone. So first challenge will get to how to consumer to explain them to what they feel, what they're looking at, what they are buying on net is the same what they go buy directly on the store. Because the tendency here is the consumer, they want to feel it, touch it, and then they buy it. So that is very, very difficult for the especially local market. But in future, we have to do it because this coronavirus teach everybody that you have to shop online.
Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you. I will ask our secretary Saket to say a vote of thanks. And Saket, please give us the numbers. How many people were there? There are many questions, but we'll have to do a second webinar. And we'll have to ask this panel again some more questions. Saket from here, please. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed. Thank you, all the panelists, for your expertise and your experience. It was very clear and affirming, because the situation of this pandemic is not going to go away anytime soon. We as humans are social, interactive by nature. So it is very good that we've done something where we're being able to see everybody in our industry, from the leaders who have the most experience and who can give us some insight to what's going to happen in the future. Hopefully we can get some more questions and more variety of panelists. And the moderator, very well done. Thank you for making it insightful and clear, as well as mixing it up. I hope everybody had a good time. Please email your questions and message us your questions for next time. And with that good note, I will end this meeting, and thank you everybody for joining us today.
Saket, I would like you to thank everybody. Thank the panelists.
Yes, the panelists, once again, thank you. And I would like to thank all our members and the people who've attended this meeting. We have everybody from youngsters to the most experienced. My grandfather is also there at the age of 92. He was very excited. I have a lot of my colleagues, youngsters, who are looking forward, and maybe we're going to get some of them to come into the panel. But please, we do look forward to your questions, your replies, and hopefully we'll be doing this more often. Please thumbs up if everybody enjoyed. And once again, panelists, moderator, members, everybody who attended, appreciate your time and effort. Thank you so much.
How many numbers we had?
We had at maximum, we reached 145.
Nice.
So, and I think next time it's going to be a lot when we get more international. We're going to broadcast this in an international way according to time. So I think we should way beyond our capacity. Thank you.
And the last thank you to all my committee members, all the board of directors of ITDCA for supporting this thing. We all were together. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, the panelists. Thank you. See you all next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.